Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to tell you about my journey from the US to the Philippines. Why did I move here? What are the reasons behind it? Well, stick around. Alright guys, another gorgeous day here on the homestead. Maya's out getting her nails done, and I'm alone here to ponder my thoughts. And so I thought I would do another video of how and why I got to the Philippines, what brought me here. Now, a lot of you who have watched my channel for quite a few years already know this story, but I'm going to go into it again because I do gain around, on average, about 1,000 new subscribers a month. A number I'm pretty happy with. Is it as much as others? No. Am I a really fast growing channel? Not really. I'm kind of like the turtle, you know, just slow in the race, but I am getting to the finish line there. I'm moving along at a slow pace, but it's a steady pace. So I'm happy with my growth, and I'm happy that so many people watch my channel, and happy that I get new subscribers and viewers all the time. So anyway, the journey all started back in 2015. I'd separated from my ex-wife around 2014 or so. It took a little while to get the divorce, but in the meantime, I had saved up a lot of vacation time, and Asia was someplace I had always wanted to go. I had been to Europe, I had been to Central America and some islands around Florida like Bahamas. I hadn't ever been to Asia. So ironically, I think I used to get, you know, when I was cruising the internet, on the sidebar, you'd see these ads for, you know, meet a single Filipina today. And I think I ended up clicking on one. I can't remember which one. I think it might have been Christian Filipina or Filipino Cupid or Pina Love. I can't remember. There are links to some of the ones I recommend down below. Apologize for the noise in the background. I guess they're doing some construction next door. It's dogs barking, goats, roosters, or construction noise, you know, take your pick. Quick reminder guys, if you want additional videos and benefits and help support my Geo in the Philippines channel, head over to my patreon.com/Geo in the Philippines and be part of the Geo in the Philippines community. Thank you for the support. So anyway, I think that's the reason why I had initially selected the Philippines. And so I came out to the Philippines, and first trip in 2015, I think in September, and I had went to Davao. I spent a whole month there. Impressions were, I liked it. It was a nice city. There was a lot of beautiful places and things to see and do, and I enjoyed my time. The jury was out. It didn't blow me away where I said, you know what, I want to move to the Philippines tomorrow. It never was like that, really. I came back, I went back to work, and then I took a trip. I had more vacation saved up. My job was quite generous with vacations, so I had a lot more saved up, and then in February of 2016, I went to Thailand. Again, for 30 days. I went to Bangkok and I went to a few surrounding cities. And then I came back, and you know, initially actually I had really liked Thailand, actually a little bit more than the Philippines initially. And I came back to work, and my job actually started to suffer because I was daydreaming. I was going through the divorce, and my mind was elsewhere. I was already kind of checked out at that point. I was already thinking about living overseas. Overseas living was something I had in my head since the time I was stationed in Germany when I was in the Army and traveling around. And so I started to think of ways of how I could make a living overseas and support myself. I didn't want to be poor. I didn't want to be just scraping by. I wanted to be comfortable. So I looked into teaching online or teaching in the classroom in Thailand, and the pay in Thailand was just horrible. Online was okay, but in person, brick and mortar classes, not very good. And so I looked at the Philippines and I couldn't find anything. I looked at Vietnam, and Vietnam was actually promising. But then a friend had messaged me. He knew I was looking into the Philippines and Southeast Asia, and he messaged me a link to a Facebook group in Cebu and said he found an English school hiring. and sent it to me, and I was like, wow, the pay was decent, and the hours and everything, the job description looked good. So I applied for an English language center, and so I applied. I sent my resume, and next thing you know, I got notified, and they said we would like a Skype interview. 3 Skype interviews later, I was hired. They said when would I like to start, and I wanted to start in December of that year, because I had to work until December 1st to make my gain share bonus with my current company. So 10 days before the beginning of December, I put in my 2-week notice, and I was on my way to the Philippines. So I landed in Cebu, and I lived and worked there for a little over 2 years. And at that point, I had decided to expand my horizons and try something new. So off I went to Vietnam to try a new job, teaching English at a higher English level, something called IELTS. At 6 months in Vietnam, I started to miss the friendliness, the speaking English in the Philippines, and I headed back. So at this point, when I landed back in the Philippines, I bounced all over the place. Davao, Cagayan de Oro, Cebu, Bohol, Dumaguete, and Dumaguete is where I landed. And since then, I've bounced around even more. And here I am still in Dumaguete and loving life. I'm out of teaching altogether now. I sustain myself through a variety of different methods. Initially, it was from teaching, and teaching online and in person. So I had 2 sources of income. But now I have various sources of income, the main one being a business with my cousin that we do. And you know, it allows me not to have to teach, and I have my own schedule, and I really just work when I want to work. Most of it is passive income. Now in the next few weeks, I will start releasing some videos about how I prepared to move to the Philippines, like by 90 days before I even moved out here. So that's how I got to the Philippines, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. I have stress in my life, sure, a little bit. It's almost impossible not to have any stress, but my stress level has gone way down. I've gone from a life where you're almost virtually invisible to the female species, at least the attractive ones. And now, you know, life with Maya, and things are good. I mean, place like this I probably couldn't afford in the U.S. So went from struggling to get by in the U.S. with expenses and trying to live the life you want. It's hard, but here you really can live the life you really want to live. You know, I can afford to have a place with a nice pool, live in warm weather all year long. It's really been a good move for me, and for most people, I would say. Most people I meet here are pretty happy. I meet few far and in between that'll say, you know, the Philippines is not for me. And that is why I tell everybody, give it a good trial run. Give it a trial run, don't just sell all your belongings. Now in the next few weeks, I am going to come out with a series of videos, like my first 90 days before I even moved to the Philippines, how I prepared, the first 90 days living in the Philippines, and tips and tricks of how I currently live. Stay tuned for those videos, guys. Make sure you check out my website at geointhephilippines.com, where you can check out my Geo Essentials that I recommend you have for traveling or moving out to the Philippines. And if you need any help, like a consultation, you can book a consultation through my website as well. And while you're there, sign up for the free monthly newsletter. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.